Hello. Today I just thought I might just talk about this book that you can see in front of you, the Ramsay's British Model Trains Catalogue, and it's authored by or edited by Pat Hammond. This is volume 2, so there was an original volume, but this one's the updated version. Look, I've had this for years and never really looked at it, never took too much notice of it, but highly recommend if you can ever grab a copy anywhere. It'll tell you pretty much everything you need to know about model trains, all brands that were manufactured in Britain. Pat's very nicely put a nice little history of them. And today I just thought I want to show you a mainline model that I have, but I just thought I'd give you a bit of background about mainline. So just bear with me and I'll get the page. Okay, so this is page 157 of the book, and there you can see it's headed by Mainline, and it gives you a history of Mainline, which I'll just try and squeeze in there so that you can read it at your leisure. Okay, so I'll just go down the page. It's a really interesting read for people that don't have access to a copy and are curious about what Mainline we're all about. Okay, so when we go over the page, this sets out a table of all of the locomotives that were produced. Okay, it's the type, the colour, the company, the year that the model was produced. That was the selling price then, and in 2001 that was the projected selling price, so £18 to £25. So the class J72 060T, so the original green one, which is the one I want to show you, well, that originally sold at £18, so not too bad. But anywho, I'll just give you a bit of a quick overview. So Palitoy was a division of General Mills in America, and they'd previously been in the model market in the 50s with S-Gauge. They already used the Cada Industrial Company in Hong Kong to manufacture toys for them, and so it was natural for them to go to Cada when in the mid-70s they decided to produce double S-scale model railway system for the British market. The new system was launched at the 1976 Harrogate Toy Fair, followed by the Brighton Toy Fair. For their standard Harrogate, Kato supplied the pre-production working chassis of the J72, and Palitoy provided the cast resin shells for the bodies. So there's two companies providing two different parts for the one locomotive. They looked excellent. For Brighton's fair, a number of J72 pre-production models were running and attracted much attention. There was also pre-production wagons and coaches to be seen, plus a pair of static 4MTs and a running peak, all with resin cast shells. The new system was called Mainline Railways, and the excellent BR standard 4MT 460 class 45 diesel and some Mark I coaches quickly followed. Development and expansion carried on apace, and 1981 saw the release of the model of a Manor class locomotive, which set the highest standard so far. So in 1981, Palitoy took over the rival Airfix GMR system, and the Airfix models were gradually absorbed into the Mainline range. Unlike Airfix, Palitoy did not own the tools with which its models were made. When models were ordered from Cada, it was on the understanding that Cada retained ownership of the tools. When Palitoy acquired Airfix, it became owners of the Airfix tools, and at the advice of Palitoy Far East office, placed the ex-Airfix wagon tooling with Todco, who were the third manufacturing company involved with Airfix tools after Sandakan and Chongtag. This was to lead to complications and misunderstandings later when the Mainline Railway's assets were sold. In 1983, General Mills decided to withdraw from the development in Europe. This was not a sign of failure on the part of Mainline Range, but rather a sweeping decision made many miles away on the other side of the Atlantic, which affected various European toy ranges. The design department at Colville officially closed on the 31st of August 1983, and the research and development facility within the company for most product ranges came to an end. The company was acquired by Kanapaka, later Kanapaka Tonka, and subsequently the Palitoy name disappeared. On the 17th of May 1985, the Mainline stock in intellectual assets was sold to Dapol. So there we are. Just read you the history. So this book is, if you haven't got one, you've got to get one. It's just terrific. It lists all of the models, when they were made, the colours, the companies, all of that, and how much they originally sold for. It's really informative. So anyway, this here is what I want to talk to you about today. Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that. Had my chair a bit further away than I wanted. There we are. There's a lovely Mainline J72. Lovely 06A. And that looks to be as good as the day it was made. I've had this for, forever. It was a bad runner, to tell you the truth, but I pulled it apart, serviced it, polished everything, and lubed it, and she's running fantastically. Look at the detail on the back there, the coal load. I don't know if that coal load's actually the way it comes. I think whoever I brought this off might have put that on there. I'll stand to be corrected. But, I don't know if you can see that there's louver windows. You got the handrail on the back there. Beautiful. And just spin her around. That lovely northeastern livery. And polished wheels. I don't think this has done many miles, to tell you the truth. I'll just show you, the wheels are in pretty good nick. So they don't have much wear on them, from what I can tell. I'm never going to get this back on there looking at the camera. It doesn't matter anyway, I'm going to run it. So yeah, this is a beautiful model. I mean, if you just look at the top of it there, you can see the little whistle there behind the valve there. Lovely pinstriping. The handrail is fine as. You got the water cover there on the tank. Bit of piping coming down the front. And I don't know, I can't read that, but I don't know if there's anything on the splasher there, on that little plate. There we are, 69023. Lovely model. Anywho, I'll show how she runs. So there we are, back on the track. J72. It's a mainline Courtaulds wagon there. And we got a GW wagon, that's a Dapol. I haven't got much Dapol, to tell you the truth. That would be one of the only couple of wagons that I've got. Then we got Bachmann, I think that's the Queen Mary. It doesn't belong on this train, but I forgot I had it, so I've been giving it a run, just to give it a run, because it's such a well constructed, heavy piece of kit. It's cast steel down there in the bottom, so she's as straight as a die, and the detail that's gone into the actual construction of the cabin on that is it's pretty good for Bachmann standards. So it's probably the only thing I own of Bachmann that doesn't cause me any trouble. She's a nice little bit of kit. Anyway, I'll set her off and you can watch out she goes. Oh, jeez. Here we go. That's about the speed I'd run it at. Now here she comes back around that corner. Just a beautiful little runner, and I've got to say the motor in them, this one, is try and get it's pretty damn high for a mainline. This is very acceptable for such a nice model. So there we go. She's coming back around. I'll just slow her down. I'll just speed her up into the corner now. I'll slow her down. There we go. It's got lovely control. And so anyway, the moral of the story is I don't usually recommend Bachmann and Mainline and toys or trains that were built by those companies because they use that split chassis turnout with plastic axles. But I'm going to make an exception for this locomotive because it just runs superbly. If you look after them, they will run well, and just look at the appearance of that. That looks great. I mean, I really like that livery. That's probably why I bought it, was the livery. I had no idea who Mainline was when I first got into this hobby. So there you go. Now I know, and maybe you know how it all unfolded. And anyway, don't forget that book. It's a Ramsay's, but it's edited by Pat Hammond. I mean, I've got these first 2 volumes of his other book. Can't get the third one because it's, I don't know, prices of it are just ridiculous. So I'll just have to wait until I come across a copy. But anywho, I'll run her off into the sunset and say, see you later. Might even pull it up before that because the carriage has come off. That'd be right, wouldn't it? Might got back on. Well done. Okay, see you later.